welcome to this update from Blend Commerce. My name is Adam Pearce. I'm the CEO here at Blend. I'm also joined by Lauren, who's our performance marketer. So Lauren, thanks for joining me today.
No problem.
So look, guys, we want to do a couple of updates over the next few weeks about our partners that we work with, so our partner apps specifically. And on today's episode, what we're going to do is have a little look at some changes that have happened to SMSBump recently, who we've seen some great results with Shopify clients and Shopify Plus clients. And Lauren's just going to talk us through some of the changes that have happened recently and give you our thoughts on them. So Lauren, what's the first change that's come into SMSBump recently?
So the first one that's come in, and that I haven't actually seen anybody else do, is a QR code generator. So I'm just going to share my screen with everybody, just so everybody can have a look. Are you able to see my screen there, Adam?
Yep, that's great.
So the QR code generator is a new growth tool from SMSBump, which effectively allows you to use a QR code to gain signups for your SMS. So I'm just going to hit get started, if I can see the button. There we go. So wait for that to load. So the idea of this, as I said, is you get a QR code, which when scanned allows anybody to subscribe to the list that you selected to subscribe to. To set this up, you just set up a name. So obviously it's good to name different ones if you want to. And you just select the list that you want it to go to. Most people will probably choose their main list so that people can then go into the welcome flow. You can then choose your message. So just like with any other SMSBump, you have all of your short codes here, and usually they recommend having some sort of discount on there. So kind of from my end, I was thinking this would be a really good thing for Shopify merchants, where they could put this QR code on like the shipping invoice that comes out with their parcels, and then people could scan it and then get an exclusive discount for the item that they've purchased or for the future. So you've got all of those there, and you can personalize them as well. And they also recommend adding in the stop to opt out, just so people know what their unsubscribe options are. Once you've done all that and you've changed all your messaging, you can upload your logo if you want to. They do have a few recommendations on the sizing on there, so I'll just upload the Blend one and see if I can get this to work. But this is a feature that's only available in the US at the moment, so I think that's why it's not going to be appearing for us today. But what will happen is this will then produce just an image of a QR code. And then you can pop that wherever you want to put it. So if you want to put it on flyers, you could put it on social media posts, you could put it on paper, as I said, when you ship out parcels. And then all the people need to do is just scan it, and then they get the message to subscribe to this straight onto their phone. So I think it's literally just a text message that gets sent, and they are automatically subscribed.
Like it. So I suppose the other thing here is that, and I don't know if you're going to stop sharing for a second, Lauren, and we'll just have a bit of a chat about this one, is that I think you were saying to me, one application this could be that if you have a merchant who has got a retail location, they could also use this in that context, basically to get them to scan the QR code.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just like, it's a really easy way of getting an additional sign up. Like most mobile phones these days have a QR code scanner, and having an option where you can just click a button just to scan it and then just subscribe, I think it's just really helpful, like in any situation that you're going to be in.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing as well that I know we'd spoken briefly about is that, I know this is kind of I get a bit of a curveball in terms of usage, but I know that we were talking about using it for some of our in-person events, where if you have people coming through the door, you could essentially use it as a way to get people to sign up and then send text updates out to people during the course of an event.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just the fact that it's so easy to use. People can come in, just scan the QR code. You could even send it out on the invitation and have on the invitation, make sure you scan this code to get updates from what's happening on the day. And it's just, again, it's just really easy for us to use.
Absolutely. Okay, great. So hopefully that's useful, guys. Have a look at that, obviously, that update. Lauren, what's the other update that's happened recently as well?
So the next one I'm going to go across is the update to the subscription forms. One of the things that I know we've found particularly difficult is we work with Klaviyo a lot, and bringing people in for both SMS, so mobile numbers, and email can be fairly tricky, because at one point you don't really want to send both text messages and emails to people who've subscribed, you want to give them the best option for them. And what SMSBump have done is they've actually got an integration set up with Klaviyo that allows you to collect both phone numbers and emails at the same time. So what I've done here, I've just gone into the growth tools and I've gone into the subscription. And if you're used to SMSBump, you know that you can change any of your pop-up styles here and you can customize it fully and everything like that. The bit that we want to go into is the additional fields here. And you'll see that there is a little tick box down the bottom here for enable desktop notifications. So if I turn that on, I now have the ability to have an enter email field as well. And you can personalize this as you could before. You can make it a required field if you want to as well. And what this does, as you can see here, you have to have a Klaviyo integration with it, so it only works with Klaviyo. But what it will do is it will pull in all of the contacts who have submitted their email, and you'll also see if they've submitted their phone number as well. So you could have people who do just the phone number, just the email, or do both. And when it pulls the contacts across, what it means is that you can create campaigns and things where you can exclude people who have entered their phone number from email. You could include people who have who have opted in for email from SMSBump, or if you wanted to, you could even kind of go on the strategy of saying, well, if I send an email to them and they haven't opened it, why don't I try sending them a text as well? So yeah, what SMSBump have done is basically they've popped that all into one form for us. And I guess for us on our perspective, we can do this with third-party apps, but having it all available in one platform that already integrates with everything at the click of a button is just super easy for us to use.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, on this one, I think this is one that we were pretty excited about, weren't we? Because, you know, one of the things that we've always been thinking about is kind of that test of kind of, you know, do people prefer to submit their email or just their telephone number or cell phone number? And it kind of gives you that option now, doesn't it? Which is really nice to see. I think, you know, we've had a couple of clients who've tried to use kind of third-party apps to do this with not too much success. But obviously, I think, you know, if you are a merchant that is maybe thinking about using SMS for the first time and you've already got a strong email base, I think this is a really nice option to actually make that test happen, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And obviously with SMSBump as well, you have the options to change how it looks for both desktop and mobile. And on the mobile version, it's usually just the click of a button. And obviously you can see on this, there's another option on there. Let me just share the screen again.
Right.
There's also an option to ask for an email after someone has subscribed as well.
Okay.
So what it'll do is once someone submits their phone number, they get sent a text that says, hey, do you want to sign up for our email list as well? So it's just another way that you can obviously kind of get people to be both your phone number list and your email list at the same time.
Love it. Okay, fantastic. Now, the last one I think you're going to show us is one around flows. Is that right?
Yes, so I'm going to share my screen for the final time.
Right.
And what SMSBump have done is they've been making a few updates to their flows. And one of the big updates that's coming that we are totally in love with is the condition we can now add that allows us to say if someone is or isn't in a segment. So you just come down, you click add, and you go to condition, and you come down to segments, and that says subscriber. You then will say if someone is or is not part of, and a part of a segment is basically how it's phrased. And then depending on what segments you've got set up, you can then select if someone is or is not in a segment. So I've set up a few basic ones here. The first one is if someone has clicked a link in an SMSBump message or not. The second one, if someone has purchased because of an SMSBump message. The third one is if SMSBump thinks they're a male, and then the final one is if someone has placed 0 orders in the past 3 months. So there's lots more segments that you can create there. But what I was thinking here is that we kind of get some additional control over the flows. So for example, we could choose if someone is in a male or a female segment, and for a clothing brand, we could then send out messages based on male and female clothing. Or if you were doing a customer win-back flow, you might want to see if someone has placed an order or not in the last 3 months, and then do different messages based on that person's behavior. So I think much like Klaviyo, this just gives us another level of targeting that we can use. And therefore we can test different messages to different types of people. And we can also see if there's any kind of differences in the results based on this.
Excellent. I mean, like you say, you know, we really like this, don't we? And I think the power here is that you're really getting kind of into the depths of the data and using it, like, you know, I guess you would with email marketing, but it's just kind of opening that up on SMSBump front now as well. So that's really cool. I mean, I think, yeah, the interesting thing on the flow side and with the segmentation is that I guess you've already been able to do kind of a little bit of that in the past in terms of looking at your data. But I suppose it's just making it, like you say, in a couple of clicks more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just having that, additional control again. I mean, it kind of, a summary of all of the kind of updates we've just given, it just makes things 10 times more easier for the person doing it. You have more control within the platform to do different things, and I think having them at that click of a button just makes it 10 times easier for people to be able to do the things that they want to do.
Excellent. Okay. Well, look, Lauren, thanks very much for that update. And guys, look, thanks very much for having a look at this. If you want to stay in touch to get more of our video updates, please just go to YouTube, type in Blend Commerce, and you'll see our channel on there. We will be publishing more of these update videos as time goes on, and there's lots of other more useful content there as well. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye now.